Good evening, students. So, today I am ready with the basic concepts of chemistry. Let's start today with the atom. First of all, what is an atom? Atom is the smallest unit of an element. You all know, you have studied in your lower classes. But now the question arises that if all these substances have their mass and the weight, then what about the atom? Does atom also have the weight? If I ask you this question, your answer will be yes. Atom is a very small unit of an element, and that is the reason its mass cannot be expressed like the other quantities in grams and kilograms. It has some specific units, and that unit is combined with the mass of the other element. So if I take the mass of hydrogen, the mass of hydrogen is 1.6735 into 10 raised to the power minus 24 grams. Right. You can see the raised to the power is 10 raised to power minus 24 grams. So, I cannot put the unit gram. So, what I have to do? I have to compare the mass of any atom of an element in some standard units. In which unit? Some standard units. But how? The question arises. Earlier, this scientist has taken reference element hydrogen for the atom mass. But later on, they found that the mass of the hydrogen cannot be chosen as the reference element since it is the lightest element in the earth. Then, in 1961, they have chosen carbon 12 as the reference element to calculate the atomic mass of a particular atom of an element. Now the question arises, why carbon 12 is only chosen as the reference element? Because its adoption affected the values of atomic mass of various elements in the old standard. Because carbon 12 is least affected. What is the meaning of least affected? It is not going to affect the values of the atomic mass of various elements. And that combination of calculating the one mass of an atom with the carbon 12 mass of atom is referred to as what? Relative atomic mass. And what is the another name of relative atomic mass? It is your atomic weight. I hope this concept is clear to everybody that we have to use a standard method for finding the mass of an atom. Now the question arises, what is this relative atomic mass? So relative atomic mass is the number of times of one atom of an element is heavier than the 1/12th mass of the carbon 12. So, relative atomic mass in chemistry is written as RAM. That is equal to mass of one atom of the element, right? Whatever the atom mass element you have to calculate, you have to take the mass of one atom of an element and compare it with the 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12. Now let's take an example. Suppose you want to find out the relative atomic mass of the nitrogen element. Then the mass of one atom of the element of nitrogen is 14. I have to calculate its relative atomic mass. So I will take 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12 atom. What is 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12 atom? It is 12. So 12 will be cancelled And what is my answer? 14. Now, another question arises. Will the relative atomic mass will not have any unit? No, it will have a unit, and the unit is expressed in AMU. Now, what is this AMU? AMU is the atomic mass unit, and which is defined as the 1/12 of the mass of carbon-12 atom. So, whenever you are finding the relative atomic mass of any element, you have to use the which unit? Atomic mass unit, which is the mass of the 1/12 of the mass of the carbon-12. I hope it is clear to everybody. But nowadays, AMU is also replaced by what unit? Nu. So the new unit adopted for the relative atomic mass is Nu. Now, next concept is the relative molecular mass, and its short form is RMM. Like relative atomic mass is the atomic weight of an element. Relative atomic mass, molecular mass, is the molecular weight of the substance. Now you all know what is a compound. Compound is formed by the combination of more than one or the two atoms. So when we take the relative molecular mass, we are not going to take only the individual atomic mass of an element, but we have to combine the atomic mass of all the atoms, and that is referred to as what? Relative molecular mass. Now the question arises, why the molecular mass is given the term relative? Relative means it is compared with the other atom. And to which atom the molecular mass is compared? Again, it is compared with the 1/12 of the mass of carbon-12 atom. Right? Okay. Now, relative molecular mass is basically represent the how much amount of a molecule is heavier than the 1/12 of the mass of carbon-12. For example, if I have to find out the relative molecular mass of this substance, what is this? This is sulfuric acid, and it is known as king of chemicals. So how I will calculate this RMM, or the relative molecular mass? I will take the atomic mass of individual atom. It's not only, we will take the atomic mass of one atom, and we have to see how many atoms are there present in a compound. For example, if I want to find out the relative molecular mass of sulfuric acid, I will write first the atomic mass of each element. What is the atomic mass of hydrogen? 1. Sulfur is 32. And oxygen is 16. Now many of you learn these atomic masses as such. But I will tell you one trick through which you can find out the atomic mass of each element. So for that, we will divide the atomic masses into two categories. One is with even number and one is with the odd number. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. How to calculate the atomic mass? You all know the atomic numbers. So that is only the thing you have to remember. You don't have to learn their atomic masses. Today I am going to tell you the trick how you can find out the atomic masses of various elements. For example, if I take oxygen. Oxygen is the element whose atomic number is even. So it is 8. And you know that the atomic number is represented by the alphabet Z. So what you have to do? You have to multiply Z with 2. The Z of oxygen is 8. 8 2s is how much? 16. Right? And this is the concept when any element has the even atomic number. Now we'll take the element with the odd atomic number. For example, if we take sodium, the atomic number of sodium is 11, right? And 11 is a odd number. So what we'll do, we'll use this formula, Z into 2 plus 1. That is 11 into 2 plus 1. And what will be my answer? 23. So this is a short trick. I hope you have understood. Now let's come to find out the relative molecular mass of the sulfuric acid. How many atoms of hydrogen are there? 2. So we'll multiply the atomic mass of hydrogen with 1. Then what is the atomic mass of sulfur? 32. What is the atomic mass of oxygen single atom? 16. But how many atoms are present in the compound? 4. So 16 into 4. Now let's calculate 2 plus 32 and 16 fours is your 64. 32 plus 34 is 34. 34 plus 64 is 98. And what is the unit? Either AMU or nu. I hope the difference between atomic weight and the molecular weight is clear to everyone. Right. Now let's come to the next part. The next part is that what is the meaning of gram atomic mass? If the atomic weight of any element is expressed in grams, then it is referred to as the gram atomic mass. Gram is never written as GM. It is always written in small g. Now let's see that suppose if I have to calculate the gram atomic mass of sodium. Sodium symbol is Na. What is the atomic weight? 23. If this 23 is expressed in grams, then we can say the gram atomic mass of sodium is 23 grams. Clear to everybody? Okay, suppose if I have to calculate 1 gram atom of helium. 1 gram atom of helium contains how many grams of helium? It's 4 gram because 4 is the atomic mass of helium, and when it is expressed in gram, it is your gram atomic mass of helium. I hope it is clear to everybody. The next part is gram molecular mass. Right? Now same. When the molecular mass of any substance is expressed in grams, then we say it is gram molecular mass. For example, if I take this molecule, the molecule is ammonia. The relative atomic mass is 17 AMU or nu. If I have to calculate the molecular mass of ammonia in grams, it will be how much? It will be 17 grams. So this is your difference between gram atomic mass and gram molecular mass. I hope it is clear to everybody.